Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to the Misfits AI YouTube channel. My name is Tim. Today, we're going to be walking through our one-click installer to get your system completely AI ready. I'm really excited to come to you today with this video. And I just want to thank you guys. If you're watching this, if you're following this video, then that means you decided to take a step in this journey with me as we go through and we start really learning AI and we start harnessing the power of very powerful local AI tools. Uh, there's no restrictions on us, no filters, no man telling us, hey, no, you can't do that, Greg. That's copyright infringement. No. There's none of that happening here today. Everything we're doing is going to give you the access to build powerful AI tools for your specific use case. And this is pretty much, look at this as what we're doing today is our foundation, right? We can't start building the walls and building the roof of our house until we have a nice solid concrete foundation for us to build upon. And that's what we're doing today is we're going through with this one-click installer and we're going to be creating our foundation. Now, the one-click installer, if you're wondering where it's at, if you're wondering how to download it, all you got to do is open up the description below, and then you will see a link to my Patreon. Now, this is 100% free for all Patreon members, so all you have to do is make an account on Patreon and follow me as a free member of my Patreon. This will be access for free from now and until the future. This will always be free. If you ever need this as your resource, if you ever accidentally delete it and you have to reinstall your Windows for whatever reason, you will always have access to this, period. Free, point blank, period. It's yours. All right. So now let's get into using this bad boy. Now Windows already comes with a version of WinRAR. Like, it's not WinRAR, it's like the Windows version of it. And if you don't have WinRAR installed yet, that's perfectly fine. You don't need to. All you need to do is you need to come over here and you need to unzip our file, and we can just select all of these, highlight them, and then paste them over to our desktop. That's where we're going to be installing this from. We're going to be installing it directly from our desktop, okay? Now, if you look, we have three different files here, right? We're going to ignore these two. We're only focused on run system setup.bat. So as long as you hover over it and you see the type says Windows batch file, this is what we're going to be clicking on today. So let's go ahead and start installing our AI system. So whenever you open it, there may be a box that pops up that says, hey, Windows wants to make sure you're okay with running this program. We're not sure if it's safe. You're just going to hit more information and then you're going to hit run anyway. That's going to happen for almost every batch file. There's no way to get around it. It just is how it is. All right. So now, once you open up the run.batch file, you're going to see this right here. All right. If you look up, you'll see the Misfits logo. It'll give you a little explanation on what we're about. And then from here, you're going to get prompted on what to install. Now, we already have everything installed, so we're just going to be pressing no, which is just in to skip. All right. So if you're running this on a fresh installation of Windows, go ahead and run this. All right. And once it downloads, it's going to download the new Nvidia version of their app, which looks like this, right? And so you're going to be downloading it until you get here. And before you continue on with the installer, I highly recommend you install any drivers that you need, whatever pops up. Now some programs are going to take a little longer to load because I'm video recording right now. But you get the gist of it. You're going to want to go through, install your drivers like you usually would if you haven't before. And one last thing I need to say, because I forgot to say this at the beginning. This is only for Nvidia graphics cards. All right. If you're on an AMD graphics card, this one-click installer is not for you, and it is not going to work for you because we're going to be installing CUDA and CUDA NN or CUDNN, however you say it. And that's what we're going to be installing because these are specific technologies for Nvidia GPUs that optimize the running of AI systems on our machine, okay? So go ahead and install that. I'm going to go ahead and skip it. Now here, you're going to start downloading your CUDA version. The CUDA version we're using is 11.8. This is very crucial. This is not optional. You have to install this. Once you hit Y, you're going to see a little bar pop up, and it's going to tell you how far into the download you are. And every option that happens here, you're going to want to remain here because you're going to have to hit allow and yes and other pop-up boxes that show up on your screen. That's allowing, that's essentially you being the administrator, and it's saying, Windows is asking you, hey, are you sure you want to give this program permissions? You're going to say yes. And you're going to hit yes or allow for every box that pops up during this installation. All right. So once we get our CUDA installed, then we're going to be prompted, and it's going to tell us, hey, this download requires a login to the Nvidia developer portal. Have you already logged into your Nvidia developer account in your browser? Now, all right, this is very crucial. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up our browser, and we're going to go over to Nvidia developer. Just type in Nvidia developer login, and you're going to see this login right here in the search results. You're going to click there, and then you're going to log into our Nvidia account. Now, if you already have a GeForce Experience account, just use that same information for this section on this website. If you don't have an account, make sure to create one. It's 100% free. Now, all you have to do is log into whatever account, whether you're creating a new one or logging into a present one. That's all you have to do, is just log into this. Then what's going to happen is this batch file is going to use your cached information on your web browser, and it's going to automatically require everything that we need to continue the download for CUDNN. So now I'm going to press no on it because I already have it. Now here we're going to download our Miniconda virtual environment. Now what's very important with this, right, is we're going to see a selection of screens, okay? Now, whenever we're going through this, and these will also be referenced in the Patreon post, all right? But if I go ahead, see here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and show you what you need to click on within this prompt. So once it finishes, this is going to be, I believe, the first page you're brought to within the installer. You're going to select just for me, all right? Just for me. And then you're going to hit next. All right, this is very important. If you hit all users, shit is not going to work properly. All right, just make it that simple. I'm not going to explain why, because we're not going to make it over detailed. We're going to keep it simple. So whenever you get to this page, you're going to select just for me. All right, then once you select just for me, then you're going to be brought to this page. This is very important. Once again, this is crucial. All right. Because most people who have issues after they've installed Miniconda, it's because they did not set it to path. You have to check mark this box right here that says add Miniconda 3 to my path environment variable. Yes, it says it's not recommended, but I recommend it because this is how we're going to be using our Miniconda. This is our global install of Miniconda. Every time one of our programs that are not located within subsystem for Linux in the future, it will be calling on this global install version of Miniconda to pip install and load our Python packages and put them properly in our active Conda environments. All right. Now, once we got that all the way, go ahead hit no. Now we're going to download the Git version. Now what this does, this is not optional. You have to install this. What Git does is it is just a command called bash that lets us pull in a GitHub repository and install it locally on this machine. That is what this program is doing. We want to keep this, okay? Then you're going to go to your Python 3.10 installer. Hit yes. This is not optional. Now, once you open up your Python, just like installing Miniconda, right? You're going to have another option. I forgot to take screenshots of it, but I'm going to walk you through it. It's just like with Miniconda, okay? So you're going to open it up, and you're going to hit the button that says add Python 3.10 to path. And then you're going to hit next. And then there's going to be another screen that pops up after that, and it's going to say something along the lines of reduce maximum characters of path. And you're going to click that as well. And what this means is that it's going to set it to your path, and there's not going to be a character limit on how many characters can be typed into that path. And so it's not really changing a whole bunch. So you're going to want to click that as well. That way you don't have to worry about a path name being too long. It's just going to follow the path name and use Python 3.10 for that version. I hope I'm able to make that simple and make sense. So just remember, you hit yes. You click add Python to path just like we did with Miniconda. Then there's going to be a page after that whenever you hit next. And what you're going to do is there's going to be a little Microsoft like a administrator yellow and blue shield down there, and it's going to be the only other button you can press besides next. And you're going to press that, and it should say something like max number of characters, something like that. And you're gonna press that button as well. All right, then you're gonna hit next. Then you're gonna be done installing your Python. Now this right here, this is going to be crucial. We need this for our image generation software. Whenever we're using models like Flux, whenever we're using standard diffusion, this is what we need. So you're going to want to go ahead and download this. VB Tools. All right, so whenever we install this, this is necessary. And whenever we install our VB Tools, whenever you hit yes, it's going to bring you up to a screen, and it's going to have a bunch of different check boxes on a bunch of different types of programs. All right, you're going to want to hit you're going to want to check mark everything and install everything that's in that menu. It's about 20 gigabytes in size, and it's going to take some time, but you need everything that is inside that package. And then it's going to prompt you to restart your computer. Do not restart your computer until you're at the end of our prompts. All right, once we're at the end of this, then you will restart your through the VB Tools option that asks you to restart your computer. But until we get to the end of these prompts, just keep that open in the side here. All right, now we're just getting into some of the more miscellaneous stuff. So in this whole idea of this installer is, if you started this off from a fresh Windows install, this is your one click and go to grab everything you need, right? So we're going to go ahead and say no, because this is optional. Now, WinRAR, if you don't already have WinRAR, you're going to want to download it because it's the best unzipping and zipping compression application there is, and it's 100% free. So if you're going to want to install it, but we already have it, so we're pressing no. All right, then GIMP Shop, it's just like Photoshop except for free. We're going to say no. Then Discord, we already have it. This is how you're going to get in touch with me on our community Discord server once you look at the Patreon. If you already have it, no. Now this right here, this is codexes. So what this is going to do is this is going to help us whenever we're decoding like video generation and image generation, especially whenever we're using different post-processing techniques and different upscalers whenever we're doing our image generation and video generation. And what this is going to do is it's going to add a codex to each pipeline that we want to use. So you're going to want to hit yes and install this. And then OBS, streaming software that I'm using right now to record this video. Nvidia Broadcast, to be completely honest, I think it sucks now. It used to be good, now it's garbage. Notepad++, this is a coding platform, lets you do some coding actions. Very simple, very basic. If you don't want it, no. OpenShot Video Editor, just a simple video editor application. You can accept it or not. Audacity, audio editing. This is specifically whenever we're using text-to-speech, like XTTS, shit like that. This will allow us to add our own voices, or whatever voice we want to clone, and etc. And this allows us to export them in the proper mono PCM format. That's all it's for. But right now, we're going to go ahead and say no. And then that's it. we're done with the one-click installer. Now you just hit enter, enter, it's done, right? So now you've gotten everything installed, and on your VBS tools, you should just open it up and hit the restart button and restart your PC. Congratulations, you just took your first step into the world of AI, and you have a completely fresh, and I mean fresh install to get nice and smoothly started into this little world of AI we're about to enter together. And like I said, I really appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. And now if we look at our control panel and we take a look at what we have installed, right? So you'll notice we got our CUDA, we got Notepad, we got Python, and now it's going to say Python 3.12 here, but that's why we added it to path, because we're not using Python 3.12. We're using Python we're using Python 3.10. So you see our Python 3.10 is installed right here. So yeah, this will say Miniconda Python 3.12, but the way we set up our Python and our Miniconda, every time it works, since we set our Python 3.10 to path, it's going to be using the global Python 3.10 install. Because if you notice, we don't have a version of Python just sitting here that says Python 3.12 as well, right? We only have a version that says Python 3.10, which is down here. So that completely, you can just ignore it saying Python 3.12 up here, because the way I set it up and if you set it up correctly the way I told you to, everything will work as intended. All right. Then you notice, we have our Virtual Studio installer, and then our Virtual Studio tools. And you'll see everything that we installed from that virtual installation checkboxes. They'll all be installed here. Then we have our CDNN, which we had to create a development an Nvidia developer account for. So you're just looking through and making sure everything that we installed along the way is here, and everything here checks out. We got everything that we need, absolutely everything that we need. All right, you guys, that's it for this episode. I really appreciate you checking it out. Again, if you want to follow along with this video and you want to download the one-click installer, it's completely free for all free Patreon members on my Patreon. So just check the link below, and hey, welcome to taking your first step on AI, buddy. You better buckle up, because you're in for a ride, and we're going to have some fun with the next tools we go ahead and we create. We're going to have such a fucking adventure here, guys. I mean, we're going to do everything from text generation, image generation, video generation. We're going to run through the whole ballpark. That way you have a hardcore understanding and knowledge. And this can be applied to any skill level, whether you're just a beginner, you're intermediate, or you're a more advanced learner. You already know most of what we're doing here. But regardless of the fact, you chose to watch this for a reason. You're choosing to follow along for a reason. And for that, I genuinely want to thank you. And I really appreciate you being a part of the Misfits community. Much love.